quality education. Expanding access to learning. Serving learners' learning needs. Tackling challenges of the present time. Supporting every learner's dream. Reaching young Pagomeños where they are today. From the music capital of the Philippines, advancing in the challenge of distance learning, the official TV-based instruction of DepEd Tagum City, bringing you quality education straight to your home. Plug yourself in. This is DepEd TV. Tara na!
Hello learners! How are you today? I hope that you're all just fine and doing great while studying at home. Did you have fun answering your modules? Did you learn a lot? If you do, you are really doing great, and I would like to commend you all for doing so. I am glad to be with you here today and be part of your learning adventure in exploring the amazing world of science. I am teacher Clarife, your science for teacher for today's episode. Before we start, I want to ask you these questions. Did you know that humans, plants, and animals grow and develop as they age? How about this one? Did you know that they change in size and appearance in a series of stages in their life cycles? And how about this one? Did you know that pollution in the environment can hinder the success or completion of the life cycle of different organisms? Well, these are the questions that you have to ponder because we are going to learn all these things as we go along with our lesson for today. Now, let me check first if you're all ready for today's lesson. Do you have with you your pen, your notebook, your module? If all are set and ready, come on, let's start the learning adventure. For today's lesson, you will be able to identify the stages in the life cycle of organisms. Specifically, you will learn to identify the life cycle of plants, differentiate monocot from the dicot seeds as to its structures, identify some animals that undergo complete and incomplete metamorphosis in their life cycle, and lastly, you will be able to distinguish the stages of human life cycle. Can you still recall your previous lesson in Quarter 2, Module 3? Great! Let's have a quick glimpse of the lesson you had in Quarter 2, Module 3 by playing this game. Are you excited? Me too! So let's start! Direction. Pick among these cards and identify what is being described in each card with the picture as your clue. Let's begin. Blank make the environment green, fresh, and beautiful because of their leaves, flowers, and fruit. They are the lungs of the earth that supply oxygen for humans and animals. What could this be? Yes, you're right. Good job, kids. It is plants. How about the second one? Blank are plants that grow on land. What are these plants? You're right. These are terrestrial plants. How about the third card? Blank are plants that are adaptive to living within aquatic environments. What is your answer? Yes, you're right. These are aquatic plants. How about the fourth card? Blank are the kind of plants that have soft, small, and fleshy stems and leaves. What kind of plants are they? Great! You got it right. These are herbs. And let's have the fifth card. They have woody stems but shorter than trees. They do not grow so tall. What is your answer? Very good, kids. They are called shrubs. Excellent! You really learned a lot from your previous lesson. Keep it up! I'm happy to know that you learned a lot from your previous lesson. I know that you are very much excited, so be comfortable on your seat and ready yourself, for our learning adventure is about to begin in 3, 2, 1, go! Before we start, let us check first your prior knowledge about our lesson for today. What comes into your mind when you hear the word cycle? Is it something that goes round and round? Or something that occurs or happens repeatedly? If you're thinking the same thing, you were right. When we say cycle, it means a series of events that are regularly repeated in the same order. How well do you know about the stages in the life cycle of organisms? Do you have any idea about it? Well, let's check if you do by answering this activity. Direction. Fill in the missing letters to create a vocabulary word from this lesson. Write your answer on your notebook. An example is given that will serve as your guide in answering the activity. You will be given 5 seconds to answer each item. For number 1, this is the word. What is your answer? Great job! For number 2, this is the word. Did you get the answer? You're right! Very good, kids. How about number 3? What is your answer? Amazing! You got it right! Were you able to answer the activity? Great! You are now ready for an exciting adventure in discovering the amazing world of the life cycle of different organisms. at this picture. What do you think is this? Yes, it is a plant. And what do you think makes a plant grow and what causes it to die? How does this plant propagate or reproduce? Is it because of plant's life cycle? Now let's explore about it. Some plants develop flowers as their reproductive organ. Most flowers, when pollinated, develop into a fruit that bears the seed of the plant. But pine cones or conifers are plants that have their seeds in cones. Life cycle of plants are important to nature. They give us new plants. They contribute much to our environment. They give us crops every year. Look at these examples. These are examples of different plants that we can see around us. There are some plants that bear flowers, and there are some plants that do not. Now let's talk about the life cycle of a plant. Let's identify the parts of a corn seed, which is a monocot seed. Inside a corn seed is the endosperm. We can also see the seed coat and the embryo. Next is the bean seed, dicot, testa and tegmen, plumule, epicotyl, hypocotyl, radicle, and cotyledons. Now let's learn the three basic parts of a seed and its functions. First is the seed coat. Seed coat is the outer covering of the seed. It protects the seed from injuries and from drying up. Cotyledon is the off-white and the biggest part of the seed. It provides the young plant or the seed the food it needs for growth. Next is the embryo. Embryo is the young plant or immature plant found inside the seed. It will soon develop into a plant. Remember this, that seeds with one cotyledon are called monocot. Examples: rice, papaya, and corn. And seeds with two cotyledons are called dicot. Examples: mungo, beans, atis, peanuts, and mango. Is it clear to you now what is the life cycle of a plant? Were you able to identify the parts of the seed and their functions? How about the difference between the monocot and the dicot seed? Now, let's learn more about the life cycle of animals. The life cycle of an animal, such as insect, is considered a complete metamorphosis if undergoes the four stages such as eggs, larva, pupa, and adult. The life cycle of a butterfly. First stage is the eggs. Next, it will become a caterpillar. Next, it will become a pupa. And it will become an adult butterfly. How about this one? This is the life cycle of a housefly. First stage, eggs. 8 to 24 hours and it has a size of 0.8 millimeter. Second stage, it will become a larva. 4 to 7 days with 10 to 18 millimeter size. Next, it will become a pupa. 10 to 20 days with 5 to 6 millimeter size. And next, it will become an adult housefly within 15 to 30 days with about 6 to 8 millimeter size. And that's the life cycle of a housefly. Now let's study about the incomplete metamorphosis that has 3 stages. Let's look at the life cycle of a grasshopper. First stage, a grasshopper lays eggs in the soil. Second, nymph. Nymphs hatch from the eggs. A nymph looks like an adult grasshopper, but it doesn't have wings. As it grows, A nymph sheds its outer body covering several times. The last shedding produces an adult grasshopper. Also, the life cycle of a frog. First, it will lay eggs. Next, the eggs will become tadpoles. And then the tadpoles will become adult frogs, and later on it will lay eggs again. So that is the life cycle of the frog. Did you understand now the life cycle of animals? We have the complete metamorphosis and incomplete metamorphosis. Now, we will have more adventure to go through. Let's explore about the human life cycle. Birth is the start of human cycle that begins after the baby is delivered out by its mother to the world. Infancy is categorized as lasting from birth through the first year of life. The infant is completely dependent upon its parents and caretakers for survival. Childhood takes place between ages 1 to 10. The first 2 years, the child is called toddler. Adolescence takes place between ages 12 to 18 and is a critical turning point because it is when puberty takes place. Adulthood lasts from age 18 throughout old age. It is when human beings are fully grown and must provide entirely for themselves. How is it, kids? Did you have fun learning the different life cycles of organisms? Can you identify now how plants, animals, and human life cycle differ from one another? Great job, kids! Hope you grasp all the important details of our lesson for today, and I'm sure that you can answer all the activities in your module. True or false? Direction. Write T for true statements and F if false. Write your answers on your notebook. For number 1, some plants germinate from seeds. Number 2, all plants have life cycles. Number 3, the plant's life cycles are similar to the human life cycle. Number 4, there are different stages that the plant goes through. And number 5, all plants have a long life cycle. Time is up! Now, let's check if you have the same answers with me. Did you get all the correct answers, kids? Good job! If you didn't get the perfect score, don't worry. You still have lots of activities to do that surely you are going to enjoy. Okay, kids, we're almost done with our lesson. So let's have a short recap for what we have discussed today. We discussed about the different stages of the life cycle of plants, animals, and humans. We started with the plant's life cycle. We learned about the dicot and the monocot seeds. We also learned about the animal's life cycle, complete metamorphosis and incomplete metamorphosis. And lastly, we learn about the human life cycle. Birth is the start of human cycle that begins after the baby is delivered out by its mother to the world. We also learn about infancy, which is categorized as lasting from birth through the first year of life. Also, the childhood stage, which takes place between ages 1 to 10. Adolescent stage takes place between ages 12 to 18 and is critical turning point because it is when puberty takes place. Adulthood lasts from age 18 throughout old age. It is when human beings are fully grown and must provide entirely for themselves. Congratulations, kids! We're almost done. Now it's time to assess your learning for today's lesson. Direction. Read the questions carefully and write the letter of the correct answer on your notebook. You are given 5 seconds to answer each item. Let's start! Number 1. Which is the order of the stages in the life cycle of the butterfly? A. Larva, butterfly, chrysalis, egg. B. Chrysalis, egg, butterfly, larva. C. Egg, larva, chrysalis, butterfly. And D. Butterfly, larva, egg, chrysalis. What is your answer, kids? The correct answer is letter C. Egg, larva, chrysalis, and butterfly. Number 2. Which is the order of the stages in the life cycle of a frog? A. Froglet, egg, adult frog, tadpole. B. Egg, froglet, tadpole, adult frog. C. Tadpole, egg, adult frog, froglet. Letter D. Egg, tadpole, froglet, adult frog. What is your answer, kids? Very good! The correct answer is letter D. Egg, tadpole, froglet, and adult frog. Let's proceed to number 3. Which animal does not go through metamorphosis after it is born? A. Bird. B. Frog. C. Toad. D. Butterfly. What is your answer? Correct! The correct answer is A. Bird. Number 4. In what stage of the frog life cycle does it live mostly inland? A. Egg. B. Froglet. C. Tadpole. D. Adult frog. What is your answer? Great job! The correct answer is adult frog. And number 5, what does not happen in a tadpole that changed to a froglet? A. The tadpole grows legs. B. The tadpole's tail begins to shrink. C. The tadpole begins to develop gills. And letter D. The tadpole begins to develop lungs. What is your answer? You're right! The correct answer is letter C. The tadpole begins to develop gills. Were you able to answer all the questions, kids? Wow, that's awesome! You did a great job today. I hope that you had a great time learning with me and you will be more excited to answer the activities in your module. Always remember that learning will never be that fun if you didn't learn at all. Once again, I am Teacher Clarife, your science teacher, always eager to be with you in your journey as we explore the amazing world of science. Always keep in mind that science is everywhere and we are all part of science. And the knowledge you have now will be your edge for tomorrow's quest because learning never ends. Hoping to see you again for the next episodes. Thank you! Goodbye!